in my own congressional district in Western Pennsylvania, we have many wonderful organizations that demonstrate the power of giving each and every day. In Erie, Pennsylvania, we have the Erie Community Foundation, the United Way of Erie, and the Black Family Foundation. As a businessman and leader in the energy sector, Pat Black and his family started a small private foundation in 1993. Here is one individual who took it upon himself to create a charitable organization to give back to his community. And we have many other good corporate citizens in Erie, as well as Erie Insurance. More than half a century ago, Erie Insurance's founder, H.O. Hart, had a lifelong concern for others who were less fortunate. And today, Erie Insurance and its employees follow Mr. Hart's example, and they continue this tradition of giving of food and clothing and other drives that would help out in the community. And since it's tax filing week, all these charitable organizations must file their tax forms called 990s, which brings us back to why we are here today on the floor considering H.R. 5443. Our bill would make it mandatory that 990s be filed electronically going forward. Electronic filing, or e-filing, is not only more efficient, it costs taxpayers less and the IRS less to administer. This requirement will boost transparency in the tax-exempt sector by requiring all nonprofits to file their returns electronically. Today, approximately 60% of all 990s are filed electronically, but the remaining 40% are still paper filed and not released as open data. In addition to requiring e-filing of the 990 form mandatory for tax-exempt organizations, the bill would make such returns available to the public in a machine-readable format. So why is this important? Better 990 information, when searchable and available to the public, allows for better scrutiny and better transparency. Jacob Harold, president of GuideStar, which collects and disseminates information from nonprofits' returns, says the more easily people can access that data, the better. A readable, searchable format that will help improve efficiency and accuracy and reduce fraud. E-filing has served as a highly effective tool in exposing scam charities, and it will make it easier to catch these few bad actors who are using tax donations for personal gain only. For example, in 2015, the Federal Trade Commission, the District of Columbia, and all 50 states filed a lawsuit against 4 scam cancer charities calling themselves the Cancer Fund. Their owners had used over 95% of the $187 million in charitable donations for their own personal benefit. This lawsuit took almost 4 years because of the difficulty of analyzing thousands and thousands of pages of data that were filed on paper. Our bill will correct that. Hundreds of millions of dollars from generous Americans were wasted because their donations were going to a fraudster and not helping researchers to find a cure for cancer. To take money away from cancer patients is just plain wrong and immoral. Our bill wants to make sure this doesn't happen in the future. Now, how would that happen? Changes could be brought sooner against these scam charities in less than 1 year instead of 4, if the return information had been available electronically. There are countless examples that prove that this can be the case. The state of Michigan is a great model for just how valuable access to machine-readable data is. To date, Michigan has shut down the most number of scam nonprofits out of all 50 states. This is because the Michigan Attorney General ability to manipulate and analyze researchable data. This bipartisan bill would help expose these shams nationally by ensuring nonprofits are e-filing annual returns. Therefore, I urge my colleagues on both sides to support this important good government anti-fraud bill. I reserve the balance of my time.